In Mystic, Connecticut, there seems to be terrorism on the streets. Do you think these auditors are right or wrong? Do you think Long Island Audit should have approached the state police officer's property? Should he have just gone to a public location and publicly displayed his frustration with the state police officer? You be the judge.
But Sean, can we talk about the elephant in the room for a second?
Go ahead.
I want someone, and I'm putting this out into the atmosphere. I want someone in the mainstream media to go and knock on Foley's door, just like Sean Paul did. And if you go there, I can almost guarantee you that it ain't going to have the same reaction that Sean Paul got when he did it. So why? You ask yourself then, why? What is the difference? You're an independent journalist. They're a mainstream media journalist. You're both asking questions. You both are seeking truth and transparency and accountability. You're both trying to expose corruption. So the only difference in my mind is what? They got a little badge on their jacket that says what company they work for.
What's up, everybody? It's Danny from the Constitution State here today. I hope everybody's having a good day. So I don't do videos like this often, but this is a PSA, a public service announcement to Connecticut, and journalists all across the country. Do not associate yourself with Keith Mutch, United FM, and he's a real journalist. I had no idea who this guy was. Somebody brought him into a group chat, and that's how I met him. He kept begging me, bugging me to follow me around and tape me doing my interactions. If you're such a journalist, why would you need to follow me around? If you're so into this, why aren't you out doing it? It doesn't make any sense. Not only that, anytime anybody would bring a story into the chat and start talking about it, he'd be, oh, I need a story. Message me. Blah. Like literally stepping on people's toes. Obviously, we want this information to get out there as much as we can. But this is my group. This is my chat. And there are tons of other people in here that are way more deserving than you of breaking any of these stories. You're not a part of this. You're only in here because somebody else brought you in. And then this happened. The real journalist, as he says, is such a great journalist, he can't even make the videos fit fair use. Did they pursue that cop's kid? It's in the video on the Constitution State's YouTube channel. Is that right? Is that wrong? I am asking the public for its opinion. Do you feel this is almost like terrorism? I don't know. Kind of freaks me out. Well, no, it's peacefully protesting is nothing like terrorism. And if it freaks you out, then you're one soft individual. Maybe you should move out of America, where you don't have rights, where you can't protest. Just saying. Obviously nobody followed the cop's kid. It's all on the video, as you see. He's really going to claim the guy that kept driving by and that was stalking us was somehow followed? That doesn't even make sense. Why, when they pull off, the guy is following them? You clearly see it. It's not even up for debate. Journalism. But I'm a real journalist. Yeah, it really shows. Or how about on this one? Mystic, Connecticut is being terrorized by outraged auditors from New York. Now he is in the chat. He knows we're all local. We all live in the same area. Why would he blatantly lie and claim that we are from New York? Dude's an idiot. Not only that, he keeps using words like terrorized and terrorism, right? Now, would you say peaceful protesters are more akin to terrorists? Or somebody like this going around setting abandoned buildings on fire and filming it? I would say that's much more akin to terrorist or terrorism than peaceful protesting. There's a reason protesting is illegal and setting people's houses on fire or buildings on fire is illegal. And this is really why I'm doing this, because he's actively looking for First Amendment auditors, which are journalists. He always refers to them as auditors, like he's somehow different. When it appears like to me, all the auditors I know do a way better job and a way more thorough job than this idiot. To me, it looks like he's just trying to follow people around so he could capitalize off of what they're doing. So he doesn't actually have to do it. He's scared. And right, he needs to do an audit, but he needs everybody else to go with him to hold his hand. I've never seen him go do anything on his own. Why does everybody need to go hold his hand? The fool really says the police respect me in this town. They don't respect anybody, dummy. What makes you think they would respect you? Doesn't make much sense to me. And when I put the posts up on YouTube and Facebook last night, because I really wanted to let people know that this dude is a blatant liar. He will make things up. He clickbaits. Don't trust him, because he's just trying to capitalize off of you. And everybody that commented that's local, that knows him, that knows who he is said he's scum. So that's no surprise. We'll have more on this winter at the end.
In Mystic, Connecticut, there seems to be terrorism on the streets. Do you think these auditors are right or wrong? Do you think Long Island Audit should have approached the state police officer's property? Should he have just gone to a public location and publicly displayed his frustration with the state police officer? You be the judge.
They would have went to the best department in the state if they would have arrested Fahey. They would have went skyrocketed instant. Yeah, they would have been sheriff status. And they just chose to piss it away. Piss it away for Fahey. Was it worth it? I want to know when Fahey's going to get arrested. Not only that, dude, he spit in his mouth. That's disgusting. That's how
You can see him wind up, you know. This one says Fahey gives great hawk tour. This one says pig spit is still spit. Go fuck yourself and get your story straight. You have no idea, bitch. Yeah. Get your story straight. I knew what she was doing right the minute she went. What's your sign say?
This is Baby Fahey, Junior Fahey, following them out.
You got him? Gotcha, bitch! He's a cop. He must be. Okay.
found them on Facebook. I kept calling them liars because they were posting lies.
They're fucking
I
lying.
kept calling them liars because they were posting lies. And they literally, one day I went to go look for something and I was banned. They would have went to the best department in the state if they would have arrested Fahey. They would have went skyrocketed instant. Yeah, they would have been sheriff status. And they just chose to piss it away. Piss it away for Fahey. Was it worth it? I want to know when Fahey's going to get arrested. Not only that, dude, he spit in his mouth. That's disgusting. That's how
You can see him wind up, you know.
What do your signs say?
This one says Fahey gives great hawk tour. This one says pig spit is still spit. Go fuck yourself and get your story straight. You have no idea, bitch. Yeah. Get your story straight. I knew what she was doing right the minute she went. What's your sign say?
This is Baby Fahey, Junior Fahey, following them out.
You got him? Gotcha, bitch! He's a cop. He must be. Okay.
me like it's not long after
I love that LA got Matt Karen on here. I like Matt, and I actually respect Matt. I'm glad Matt quit Fox and is doing his own thing. It shows that he actually stands on something. He's not just here for the money. And I like how they break it down. And I like how they call out the news. Oh, YouTubers. Kind of like people calling everybody auditors. They're journalists. Common sense. I get people like to argue the fact, but you can't argue facts. You can't. I mean, come whine about this, come whine about that. Automatically lose the argument if you claim it. That's not a journalist. Even though it is. It's like saying that the sky's not blue during the middle of the day on a clear sky. You'd be slow.
I had a little conversation with ChatGPT. But I wanted to show everybody this. I had a little conversation with ChatGPT regarding, let me see if I can make this bigger for you guys so you can see. I had a little chat with ChatGPT, and I asked what constitutes a journalist objectively, because in all of these news reports, you can Google 2 men arrested, Groton, Connecticut. You can look at them yourself. You'll see that that's the only video news report that's out right now currently. And they did report the latest information is that Sergeant Brian Fahey still has a job. He hasn't been suspended, not administrative leave, nothing. Again, if you want to sign the petition, the QR code's on screen. So I asked ChatGPT, what constitutes a journalist objectively? Core activities: researching, investigating events, issues, interviewing people to gather perspectives, formats: print, broadcast, digital, websites, podcasts, social media. Purpose: to inform the public accurately and fairly, to provide context, current events. Let's move up here. And then I asked it, let's see here. Ooh, hold on, guys. And then I asked it objectively, is Sean Paul Reyes from Long Island Audit a journalist? Right here, right? Objectively. Good question. Let's look at it objectively. I won't bore you guys with the details. You can pause to read every single one. I'll just briefly say, based on public available facts, he films interactions with government officials, especially police and public employees. He investigates and documents government facilities and procedures. He publishes these videos with commentary on YouTube and other platforms with the stated goal of promoting government transparency and accountability. He reaches a large public audience. Therefore, he gathers information, he records, he disseminates. And then over here, so again, objectively a journalist. So then I asked it, Sean Paul Reyes has been in the local news media and they keep referring to him as a so-called journalist or self-proclaimed journalist. If objectively Sean Paul Reyes is a journalist, why would they use this terminology to describe him? One word answer only, the most likely reason. ChatGPT said bias. Then I said, now explain. Sure, when local news outlets use terms like so-called journalist or self-proclaimed journalist, they are signaling skepticism or disapproval. This language suggests they question his legitimacy or professionalism. They imply he doesn't meet their standards of real journalism, often favoring traditional media credentials or style. They want to distance themselves from him by qualifying the label. They can subtly discredit him without outright denying the factual nature of his activities. They may reflect institutional or cultural bias. Many in legacy media are wary of independent activists or adversarial styles of journalism, especially those that challenge authorities in ways that they don't. In short, calling him so-called is a rhetorical move to shape audience perception, to make readers question his status, even though by objective definition his activities do fit journalism. So there you go, Matt. What are your thoughts on all of this, you being the expert in local Connecticut media, things like that? Just what's your take on the so-called journalist, self-proclaimed journalist? Why wouldn't they just say independent journalist Sean Paul Reyes went to go ask questions about Sergeant Brian Fahey's overtime?
I have so many thoughts. All right,
Floor is yours.
I'm going to make this real easy for everybody. And I don't care what ChatGPT said. A journalist is anyone who's curious and asks questions. Period. End of story. That doesn't necessarily make you a good journalist, but that's where it starts. That's what makes you a journalist, being curious and asking questions. I mean, there's a reason why there's no official government agency that prints press passes, right? Because we don't have state-run media here in the United States of America. We have a free press, and the press is made up of our citizenry. And it's why, when you go back to the Constitution, it talks about an armed militia of we the people, right? Because we have a citizen military, we have citizen journalists. I mean, we are the people. So that is where it starts. I know Luke. I good
and I'm not singling him out. I'm saying that was just the only video report that I had.
Right. And I just think that when I was in news, I never tried to talk down to my audience. And I think that when you present language in that kind of a way, so-called journalists, you're already framing the argument rather than letting your viewer decide what they want to believe. And that is fundamentally what is wrong with mainstream media nowadays is you're spinning it. Just give it to me straight. Just give it to me straight. I will decide in my own brain what I want to think. I never told people how to think. I never tried to use inflammatory language like that. I would always interview 3 or 4, different people to get as many sides of the story as I possibly could. And I had to fight with my producers because they would always come back to me and they'd say, Matt, your story today is 3.5 minutes long. I can't give you that much time. Well, do you want it to be quick or do you want it to be done right? That is why people don't trust the mainstream media today, is because it is all about how much content can we pump out and how quickly can we do it. And it's not about storytelling. It's not about fact checking. It's not about making sure that we're presenting all sides of an argument. It's what I like to call junk food news or Mick news. And so when they frame you in that way, calling you a so-called journalist, quote unquote, it's very disingenuous. They're already talking down to their audience. I do think Luke did some great things in that story. I mean, he got the guy who was protesting outside. He did his due diligence in terms of reaching out to the state police and the Groton police. But Sean, can we talk about the elephant in the room for a second?
Go ahead.
I want someone, and I'm putting this out into the atmosphere. I want someone in the mainstream media to go and knock on Foley's door, just like Sean Paul did. And if you go there, I can almost guarantee you that it ain't going to have the same reaction that Sean Paul got when he did it. So why? You ask yourself then, why? What is the difference? You're an independent journalist. They're a mainstream media journalist. You're both asking questions. You both are seeking truth and transparency and accountability. You're both trying to expose corruption. So the only difference in my mind is what? They got a little badge on their jacket that says what company they work for.
All right.
I mean, come on. What is the difference?
So, as we said, we'll go into this. Norwich arsonist gets 39 months in prison. Keith Mutch, a 36-year-old Norwich man, known by local firefighters for tracking their movements via scanner, was sentenced to 39 months in prison Wednesday for his role in setting several Norwich fires. Mutch had pleaded no contest to 2 counts of third-degree arson and 1 count of tampering with a witness. Assistant State's Attorney David Smith said Mutch was linked to a May 20th, 2006 fire at a 6-story commercial warehouse on Terminal Way in Norwich. Mutch and Hamilton Gavitt had canoed to the area of Terminal Way building along the Thames River where a stack of wooden pallets was lit on fire, police said. In what Judge Patrick J. Clifford called a frightening aspect of this case, police said Mutch captured the fire on video. So this idiot wasn't just going around lighting fires, he was recording evidence for the state. What a genius. Mutch is also linked to a 2007 fire at a building under renovation at 4 Tilton Street in Norwich. Norwich police arrested Mutch last year in connection with the January 2010 incident in which Mutch used a portable radio to call in a fake report of a gunman outside Walmart in Norwich. Oh, so he wasn't just lighting fires, he was actively calling in fake reports? Defense attorney Bruce McIntyre said Mutch had a troubled childhood and suffered from mental health problems. That seems to be clear. McIntyre said Mutch was desperate for companionship and eventually did find a group of friends. That group, led by arson ringleader Kevin Walker, was linked to a dozen fires across eastern Connecticut. Smith described Walker as the wheel hub and his followers, Mutch among them, as the spokes. Walker is serving a 15-year prison sentence. Mutch apologized for the grief to the victims had to endure and embarrassment to his family. He is to serve 8 years suspended after 39 months in prison. 3 years probation. So this guy appears to be a real winner. So if I were you, and I was a journalist of any sort, I would stay as far away from this guy as I could. In my opinion, he's just looking to capitalize off of you. He's too scared to go record cops. He's too scared to go talk to cops, but he'll film you doing it so he can post it, so he can try and make money off of it. As I said, I don't know what kind of real journalist doesn't even know how to make their video fit fair use. And it'll be easy to see who obviously isn't a real journalist. Anybody connected to Keith Mutch in any kind of journalist capacity, I would question. I wouldn't be going and listening to them. If you can look at this guy and all the stuff he's done and what he's continuing to do, what he's posting, the blatant lie, and you go, wow, that's somebody I really want to work with, you're an idiot. Sorry, not sorry. And I think it was awesome that Matt Caron went on LIA's thing. I like Matt Caron. I don't like a lot of the mainstream guys, but I've liked Matt from the beginning. And it shows why. I reached out to him not that long ago to where he let me know he actually quit Fox, started his own media company. I think in the LIA clip, it explains a little bit why. He doesn't agree with it. He thinks they're just pumping content for views, not actually investigating, not actually reporting. Kind of like Keith. Maybe Keith should go fill his spot at Fox. He'd fit right in. Well, nah, I'm lying, because even those guys still did a 10 times better job than he did. At least they went and talked to people. What kind of journalist has direct access to the people in the story? And yet the idiot still doesn't go ask any questions? He doesn't want to find out what's going on? Why is that? As I said, this wasn't an attack on anybody. I'm simply sharing the facts, sharing the information with the public, trying to protect other people, to protect other real journalists. The press pass means absolutely nothing. Who'd he get it from? He doesn't work for anyone. Did he get his Crayola crayons out and draw one up? Like, I don't get it. And I think people should be aware of him. Be aware of his lies. I know I wouldn't support somebody like this. I wouldn't watch somebody's content like this that's blatantly lying. Oh, they're from New York, even though I know they're not and they live right here. Terrorist this, terrorist that, but I go around setting buildings on fire in canoes and film it. Like, the filming it part is really what shows what a psychopath this dude is, in my eyes. So leave it in the comments. We'll talk about it. And I'll see you guys on the next one.